shut up, you listen to my monkey mouth. There's a companion when you got pun on the canoa route. Hopped in a portal and got in a fight, Elias knocked him out. Bow, Naruto fighting style. Bow, UFC he tapped out. Bow, we win, we get crowned. Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Ones Who Woke Up podcast. This is Joshua, as always, and today I've got with me
Brian MacDuffy. Hey.
And so, this is probably going to be everybody who's watching the podcast's first time being exposed to you. So go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about what you have going on, you know, what you're doing, where they can find you online, and if somebody were to want to support you, how they could do that.
We're doing that up top. You don't do that at the end?
Yeah, I do. I follow it up at the end,
Okay,
too.
tight. Yeah, my name is Brian. Hey, I do comedy, stand-up comedy. That's the dream, going for it. Whoop, whoop. I do my own podcast called Slide In Pod. It's about sliding into DMs. I told a story last week that was crazy about sending my mom's friend a dick pic.
Get a little closer to the mic.
It was nuts. And yeah, man, follow me on Instagram. It's my main thing. At Brian with an I. I is EYE because I have a I tattoo.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
I thought that was clever. People don't get it, and I'm like, I thought that was it was clever.
Well, if they don't know you, they don't know about the tattoo, it might not make sense.
But also because Brian is spelled with an I.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
I thought it was smart, you know?
It's fine. It's perfectly clever, right? I think you're just dealing with dorks out there in the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
There's a significant portion of, I mean, think about the average person, right?
Yeah.
There's 3.5 billion people on the planet who are dumber than that motherfucker.
How do you get that statistic, though?
Well,
hey,
it's just
Jamie, will you look that up?
Well, I'm saying is, you know, the average person you think of average intellect, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Whenever you think of the average person, they're going to fall somewhere right in the middle of the spectrum, right?
Do you consider yourself a smart dude?
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, okay. Me too.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
consider myself dumb.
I've just taken a lot of drugs and have happened to, like, see some really neato things. And so I like to talk about the psychedelic truth that I've experienced because I believe it carries weight. I think that it's real.
All right, so what trip has done the most for you?
Oh, man, the one that's done the most for me? So I've told this story quite a few times on the podcast, but it's fine. It's just going to be something that happens on 80% of podcasts. Fuck it.
97%.
All your listeners are like,
Lower than 97 and 30-year-olds.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The average IQ is lower than 97 and 30-year-olds. So I just pulled this all.
Wait, is 97 a high IQ?
I don't even know where is that on the spectrum? What's the lowest on the scale and the highest on the scale?
Wait. This is what we need to find out, Mikey K. I want you to find out what's Forrest Gump's IQ, and then make sure I'm above that first. You know? Yeah, exactly. That's the line.
Bro, this is like that TMI episode of South Park where they change the numbers so that everybody can feel good about their dick size. And he's about to tell you the numbers, and you're about to realize you're dumber than fucking Forrest Gump, bro. You're gonna be so upset.
It's not gonna hurt me. I already know.
Average IQ is 85 to 115, but in 30-year-olds, so that's us, kind of. It's lower than 95.
So the average IQ is between 85 and 115, but the average amongst our demographic is 95.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right in the middle.
You know how I know I'm dumb, though? Because I went to Blinn Junior College.
Bro, shout out Cam Newton, dog.
Yeah, that's shout out Cam Newton. I went to Blinn Junior College and didn't play sports.
My boy Big Will went there as well.
Did he play sports?
I don't remember, bro.
All right, if he didn't play sports, that's how I know I'm dumb. I went to a community college away from home. I could have, you see how dumb that is? You know how much money I paid just to go to ACC far away?
Yeah, just the additional rent and shit.
That's just proof already that, like, my IQ is above or lower than 95. You know? I don't need to know that.
See what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say is think of the average guy at 95. Half the fucking planet's dumber than that sumbitch.
Half the planet is me. You know?
It's us, bro. Yeah. Gang, bro. Never underestimate the capacity of a bunch of stupid people.
Can I tell you what you remind me of real quick?
Sure.
I feel like you're gonna be on the next season of Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
Has no one ever told you that before?
No.
I feel like I could see you in the show.
Like a character
like
that's after me.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're like a side character in the show, you know?
I think that's great.
Yeah.
You know, I was jamming Danzig and Metallica back before it was cool again. You know, I was in high school in 08, and people thought I was a fucking demon worshiper because I had a Danzig T-shirt.
What's a Danzig T-shirt?
You ever familiar with who Danzig is? The band?
No.
That's unfortunate. They're just a metal band from back in the day.
And I'm a big rap guy, R&B.
I love rap, bro.
Oh, really? So you're like a big music guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm a very small music guy.
See, I
listen to the same songs over
I
and over
love
again.
me some Texas rap, bro. Anything DJ Screw, bro.
Some of that fucking
Swinging
Paul Wall,
swinging
baby.
and banging. I have Paul Wall's phone number in my cell phone. I've met that guy.
Oh, I got Mike Jones, 281-330-8004. So what up, dude?
Know what I'm talking about. My man. My man, I like that. We're fucking on it, bro. That's, yeah. That's all up my alley.
So cool. He still listens to Kanye West.
I do, bro. I still listen to R. Kelly. Yeah, you know?
Hey, man,
I gotta stop listening to Kanye if I still listen to R. Kelly.
They say you got to separate the art from the artist.
That's what they say, but it's still in the back of your mind, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, one fucked up thing I do? When I'm bored, sometimes I watch old Harvey Weinstein movies and try to guess, like,
Which ones got diddled?
exactly, yeah. I've never, this is her first movie, you know?
Ooh, how was her trajectory
You
after
know, I'm
this?
just saying, if Harvey Weinstein was still a thing, I might be famous, you know?
I just feel like I feel like Harvey Weinstein is just king incel.
No. He's
Yeah,
like
for sure.
king. He's like one of the rich guys that has so much money. But you heard about his
feel-
dick,
but-
right? It's
but I-
ugly.
See what I'm saying?
That's why you got to have money to
See what
get
I'm
laid
saying?
and use your power.
And that's what I'm saying. He went and got all that money and power so that he could compensate for his tiny little wiener. That's incel activity, bro.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Everyone wants money. Like, money's not necessarily money's not everything in life, but it sure does make life easier.
There's
you know?
a joke that Daniel Chosh used to say that you can't buy happiness, but have you ever tried to frown on a wave runner?
Yeah.
And that's real shit. Like,
Yeah.
bro, set my ass in a Maserati and see how long.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
frowning.
And like you're gonna be relatively happy. You know.
It's at least going to give you dopamine in the short term.
Facts.
That's the simplest way you can.
And right now I'm getting it through masturbation. So.
Yeah,
That's no fun.
which just makes you
know?
feel disgusting.
Right,
afterwards.
yeah, exactly. I feel so much shame after, especially because I'm like watching porn, you know.
It's
like
like
sitting on my hand.
It's like some god awful thing. You're watching some
Yeah, exactly.
chick get bukkake.
Exactly. Just watching, you know, dude. Because I've been watching it since I was like 10, so it's been like 18 years of watching porn.
Bro,
you know?
is anyone prepared to talk about the post-nut clarity that you experience whenever you're still looking at your phone?
I can't. I turn it down real quick. Right after it's done, I drop it like it's hot. Like it's I don't want that anymore, yo. And then I sit there and I feel the frown develop on my face. I'm just like, oh, you're such a.
I'm
you're
gonna
such
be
a
alone
cuck, Brian.
forever.
You're such a little cuck, dude. Ugh. So I feel so much shame, dude. Like, god damn it.
Oh my
You heard that
god.
It's like you stop paying attention to the sex and you start paying attention to the tile jobs.
The towel jobs.
The tile.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, they gotta have the ambiance light. If the lighting ain't right and it ain't in 60 frames and it ain't in 4K, if it ain't got the production value behind it, bro.
Oh no, see, I'm one of the people, I like low production value.
Oh,
when
you-
it's like too high a production value, then I'm like, I feel like it's like too scripted for me. You know,
Sure.
when I get that amateur stuff, that's when I'm like, ooh, they're nasty.
Like when the best quality you can get is 720p. but
Exactly.
that's off
I'm like,
someone's
it's too
cell phone.
much, you know? It's like, it feels too bright. It feels too fake, you know? You could tell that those titties are fake, you know? I don't like none of that, you know?
Oh, bro, fake titties are not the best.
I'm not a fan of them.
It's
I'm not
not-
a fan
it's-
of fake. I'm not barely a fan of makeup.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? I like natural women. It's hot. They're like, oh, look at these wrinkles. I'm like, who cares?
Bro, you're beautiful.
Who cares?
Beautiful.
Exactly.
Who gives a
oh,
shit?
you're getting old? Then we'll turn the fucking light off, you know? Who cares?
Whatever,
Or
dog.
the big lips? How do y'all feel about the big lips, the injected lips?
That's ridiculous.
Oh,
It's all ridiculous.
Can't stand it.
Anytime that people are making modifications to their body to reach an idea of beauty
True.
is like wild, because in my opinion, we're all made in the image of divinity, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're beautiful. You're fucking beautiful, my man.
thank
Like you ain't got to change a fucking thing. And
I mean, I did get a penis job made a little bit bigger, but
well,
other than that,
more power
you know,
to you,
you
bro.
know, yeah.
If I could have a mechanic pump up mega dick, I would. Sure, whatever.
yeah. Did you
So
ever
if
watch?
I had
yeah.
if I had $1 billion,
Do you think those pumps, the penis pumps, do you think those make them bigger in the long run, or do you think they just like get you hard that one time?
I think that it's just using vacuum pressure to stimulate your dick. I don't
Yeah,
think it's
yeah,
actually. I don't think it's actually enlarging shit.
Because that's where it'll like bring all the blood there and shit. So you don't think it'll get bigger?
I think it's going to get bigger insofar as the blood can't get out because it's held in there via vacuum. But once that vacuum's released, your dick's going to deflate back to a normal size. You're not going to get any permanent growth because you put your dick under vacuum. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I never really thought about it. I just seen it on Amazon for $15, and I was like,
I saw it on
That's
Wish.
kind of a
I saw it
deal.
on Wish for $6.99.
$6.99, but that one I don't trust, dude. That one I feel like it's gonna break or something. My dick's gonna get caught.
They're just gonna ship. They're just gonna ship you like a book or something. It's gonna be something entirely different. That's that's what I always hear about Wish is that it's just so sus that you ain't even liable to get the thing you ordered, my man.
It's like not even a good book. It's like a textbook. You know?
It's like
not even something you could read.
It's like a copy of Goosebumps from back in the day, my man. Like the one where it's the leaf monster in the basement.
The leaf monster in the basement. How'd you guys defeat him? Just a leaf blower, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just went down there. Episode over.
Bro, there were some guys mowing the lawn across the way. He saw it happening. He came by with a weed whacker. It was a wrap.
And then after what, $10? Yeah, it's $10.
Done deal, my man. I see you're hitting that Escobar, man.
Yeah.
So I'm a friend of the founder of Escobar.
What?
Or,
Is this a Texas branch?
He's not the founder. No, they're headquartered in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he's not the founder. He's one of the managing partners. His name is Justin. I've known him for forever, and we had to have a phone conversation about vapes and the motivations behind why they're illegal in some places and why there's generally friction in politics with them, basically relating to states that sold bonds that were projected that were based on the revenue they were expecting to get on tobacco tax, and then vapes have cut into that, and so now like people's bonds that they bought aren't returning the dividends that they were expecting, and so they're having to try and crack down on vape to get the money back into the tobacco and shit. It's weird.
Oh, that's like a big conspiracy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
because these have nicotine in them, so wouldn't the cells help the taxes still?
Well, so because it's not roped into nicotine, it's roped into tobacco, and that's not a tobacco.
They're
that's
different.
that's not a tobacco product.
Yeah, this is a nicotine product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think the simplest thing to do is just tax nicotine, whether it's in the form of tobacco or whether it's in the form of vape.
Yeah, I thought this was America. I thought they taxed everything. Why wouldn't this be getting taxed?
Oh, they are getting taxed. It's just ultimately these states have this weird motivation to do what they can to make sure that they're not defaulting on their bonds that they've issued based on the revenue projections of their tobacco sales that are now not being met because of the existence of vapes.
How much money do you think they make on selling bongs?
Bongs or bonds?
Isn't that what you said? Bongs?
Bonds. Bonds.
DS. Bonds.
Yeah.
What kind of bonds are they selling?
So they sell like war bonds, all kinds of shit. And a bond is basically a stock that you're buying from the state. And the state is saying that we'll pay you back with interest for buying this bond, and we're going to pay you from pool of money X, right? And pool of money X is tobacco tax money. And they're not getting as much tobacco tax money back as they were expecting now because of the existence of vapes, and vapes exist outside of that tax revenue stream.
I mean, I don't think you can blame it on vapes. I just think they're the easiest thing to blame it on. I think people are quitting cigarettes anyway.
Oh yeah,
so it was just maybe not everyone, but it was in that trend of we know how bad these things are. And I smoked this thing. I smoked cigarettes for like 10 years. You know, I smoke this thing, I feel a million times better than when I smoke cigarettes.
It's obvious.
Don't get me wrong, I still don't feel great. It's not like I'm waking up like fucking Andrew Tate, ready to go conquer the day. You know, I wake up, roll out of bed, and I'm like, fuck, how about some goddamn oatmeal or something, you know?
I need my Wheaties, dog.
Yeah, I don't think nicotine is good for you. But at the end of the day, it's like people are quitting cigarettes anyway. They're just trying to put that on somebody, you know?
Yeah.
They just need to find better ways to make money.
Yeah.
I feel like that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they shouldn't have been selling bonds. Is what's going on. They should have been making it They should have been making it by the virtue of their own effort, not selling bonds.
Yeah, that's something I didn't even know about. That like the government does that. I feel like you already taxed the fuck out of everyone. How do we not have enough goddamn money? How are you going to be the richest government in the world and then have a little side hustle too? You know what I'm saying?
They got a million side
They're over
hustles.
there doing Uber Eats on
And
the
you know,
side.
and you know what's dope is that everybody's side hustle is their side hustle.
What do you mean? Oh, because we benefit off the government.
Like we're gonna pay taxes on it. Well, no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what hustle you dream up, Uncle Sam gonna come around and take his little cut. No matter what. No matter what new neat thing gets discovered, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The next $1 trillion industry. You know who's already hooked into it?
The government.
Know what I'm talking about.
Facts.
They ain't gonna miss. They ain't missing.
I mean, it would be, I wouldn't be mad about paying taxes if, like, we weren't about to go into a recession. You know what I'm saying?
I think
if shit was, like, good.
I think we're literally getting back to the point where it's the big hang-up that we had whenever we kicked off the Revolutionary War. No taxation without representation. I think it's clear at this point that the government represents the big money interests behind the scenes more than they represent the people. And so they're collecting taxes off of us, but then they're not representing us. They're representing corporate interests. And so we're literally facing a situation where we have a government who's taken more than they've ever taken and are representing us less than they've ever represented us. So it's pretty bad.
The problem with that is they could do that in 1776, you know, because it was just different. You know what I'm saying?
It was like homies. It was homies with muskets and bushes.
Exactly.
And
I'd
shit.
feel pretty confident too, especially being a big dude. I'd feel a little more confident, you know. But now, I see someone pull out an M4 with a tank behind them, and I got me a little fucking fly swatter, you know. We ain't got no real chance of ever overthrowing anything. And then you overthrow something and you got to instill something better. The way the world has gone, I think democracy is the best it's getting.
I think that there's no restarting it at this point. I think we have to roll with the punches. I've got a plan.
You've got a plan?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I think that we need to buy back our politicians. I don't think there's any reason why the guy who runs Shell ought to be making 100 times what the president makes. President makes like $250,000 a year or something.
Yeah.
A pittance.
Like 400, I think.
A pittance, bro.
Yeah.
A pittance in the grand scheme of things. Whenever the guy who runs Shell is making with bonuses $60 million a year.
You don't even need that.
No. You know, people are making. But the thing is that people are making retard money, bro. And the first thing they teach you in college economics is that in capitalism, people respond to incentives, and the biggest incentive in capitalism is capital. And so if you're the guy in the office, who are you going to represent? The people who are paying you $250,000 or the people who are paying you $10 million?
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
You know?
It's as simple as that, yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
I think because the price on how much we pay the president, it hasn't like increased over time.
If you
paid more, you probably get better people wanting to do it.
Well, and the bottom line is, I feel like beyond, we need to give them enough money so that they can feel actually really secure and happy and lead like the type of lifestyle that someone who's leading the biggest, most robust government the world's ever seen should have. They shouldn't be, having to go and sell us out to lead a millionaire lifestyle as the president.
Have you ever seen the White House?
No, not in real life.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in real life either, but my friend did, and he sent me a picture of it, right? And I was like, that's it?
Yeah.
It's a little small.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was built way back in the day.
I know, but I was like, don't you think it should be like more grand, you know?
I mean, it was the grandest thing around.
back in Abraham Lincoln's day. Yeah.
But I think beyond just paying them more, I think that we need to make it so that they can't get money outside of what they're doing. Like if you're a politician, you're not getting money from any other stream of revenue.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And we're paying you enough to where that should be okay.
Yeah.
Period. And we're going to take away your right. We're going to take away your right to privacy.
Well, how do you feel about Nancy Pelosi denying that the bill that says politicians can't invest in the stock market?
It is clearly in her and her friends' best interest.
Of course, right.
So that's that's all it is.
So because she's Speaker of the House, her hands are fucking in everything. So how do you get that bill passed without her? Can you?
I have no idea. I don't know the intricacies of how it works.
Because literally,
on the back end,
the stock market is all about knowledge, and they're the first people to the knowledge.
Oh, that's facts.
You know
I did an entire talk the other day on one of the podcasts about how you can literally just make the moves that the politicians make in the stock market and crush it.
There was a Reddit following Paul Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's husband, and every move he did was on the Reddit, and people would follow him, and we're just making mad money.
Yeah, and I feel like he took a loss here recently to throw him off the trail.
We actually just like got punched in the head or something.
Got hit with a hammer.
Got hit with a hammer. If that ain't...
There's some LGBTQ stuff maybe going on in that situation.
Oh, that's what do you mean? What do you mean? Like he was fucking a dude, and then the dude was upset?
So yeah, tell me about what you know about it, because I don't know nothing about it.
So I seen that he got hit in the head. I didn't know what the object was. He was hit in the head. Then today I seen on Fox News, who would have guessed, illegal immigrant.
There you go.
So that's all I know about it so far. But then we got fucking Mike over here.
I feel like no one goes in. What, did they break into their house?
That's what I'm saying. I just seen like it pulled up on Fox News.
Damn, so you just like saw the headline.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit.
Well, I'm just hearing about it for the first time. That's nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy. Right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Y'all gonna have to tune in to Shut Up You'll Listen if you want to hear more about that, because we're both sub 95 on the IQ scale, so we're not keeping up with the shit we're supposed to. Mark Twain said that if you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. So you're either misinformed or uninformed these days, and I typically choose uninformed. I like to protect my psychological landscape and keep it to myself. You know.
I like to laugh at it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely if you can treat it like a big TV show, like a big sitcom, bro.
Just like great. How corny it is too, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's
getting out of control
for all of this shit.
It's getting out of control too. It's getting to where it's like blatant.
Bro, they're also like making news up at this point. Like I seen this one report that they caught the Stockton serial killer, right? And then guess how many people he killed?
One.
I was like, that's not a serial killer.
No.
That's just a regular killer. You know?
That's just a dude.
How you know he wasn't even... Maybe he was just defending himself. I was like, dude, you guys are like running out of interesting topics here, you know?
That's definitely... I mean, I guess, terrorism lost its touch, and now COVID's lost its touch. Now
They got to come... Yeah, World War III. That's the next focus, you know?
Man, hopefully not, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
How do you feel about that?
I think that at the end of the day, there's 1,000 guys on an island who really run the planet, who effectively have their own little micro-civilization within what all's happening on this planet. And they're going to be insulated from whatever happens. And I think that the rest of it's more or less just a big elaborate game of chess for them. And I think that wars and stuff like that are like real ones, real wars, I think are a thing of the past. I think that, it's just America, China, and Russia all have deadhead switches to where, like, our government goes down, they can end all mammal life. You know what I'm saying? And, when you get to that point, like, we're all standing here with guns pointed at one another. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, we're just going to have to be copacetic with it. And I do think that we're going to have to get to where there's a world government. I think that's absolutely the next step. I mean, like, let's be frank. How embarrassing would it be if an alien walked through the door right now and was like, "Hey, take me to your leader." We're like, of America, one of the 281 subdivided countries in this planet. Sure, like, let's figure it out. You know, like, who really is the fucking leader on this pitch? You know, I don't think the president even gets a seat at the table of the real decision makers, and I don't think that any of us know who those people are intentionally. And so yeah, you know, it would be flat out embarrassing. I'd take him to Joe Rogan probably, you know.
So leading into that question, I'm curious about this. How do you feel about Kanye West?
I feel like he's fucking.
Heard about him? The latest stuff.
I don't know nothing about it.
Okay.
I literally don't know about it. You can tell me and I can give you my thoughts on it, but I don't know nothing about it.
I mean, I don't know if I know enough either, but I'll tell you that his words, he called out the Jews.
Okay. Sure, that's a great way to get canceled, right? Because don't they?
Oh, he got debanked.
Oh my god!
They fucking. That's the first time I've ever heard of that happen.
Oh my god! They canceled his money.
That's what I'm saying.
They canceled everything.
I was like, bro, he got pulled out of the bank. I didn't even know you could do that.
Damn it, man.
Yeah.
Wow! Don't talk shit about the Jews. I have nothing but nice things to say about that particular demographic of people. Uh-huh. That is insane.
I mean, I feel like, let's just pretend that the Jews do run things, right? I get it. because they've been enslaved 2 times as people, Egypt and then the Holocaust.
Sure.
So I feel like this third time, because they had money in World War II, and I feel like this third time they were like, all right, money didn't save us. This time we're gonna be the power, so this never happens again. I totally if this is true,
I wouldn't be mad at that line of reasoning.
Yeah, I'd
You
be
know
like,
what I'm
hey,
saying?
I totally get it. I would do the same thing, you know. Like I'm Irish, Scottish, so I look at English people just like, ugh, you know.
I'm a mutt. I'm a like French and
Oh, we call that American.
yeah, exactly. I'm French and Scottish
Yeah,
and Native American,
yeah,
and that's pretty much the big mix right
yeah.
there.
I got a little bit of Native American too, just like not enough for a scholarship, so
Oh,
I
I
don't even
got-
claim it.
I got a lot in me. I have a granduncle named Chaw.
Chaw. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Do you get paid for being Native American?
I don't. I no, I don't. But I mean, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in no way a Native American. You know what I'm saying? I'm a mutt person, and it would be in bad faith for me to even go and pursue any type of compensation.
You're a better man than I am, dude. That's the reason I did 23andMe. I was like, if I can just get 10% Native, I'm getting a little something, you know. I was pumped, bro.
I'm probably. I mean, is that all? Is that all you need?
Yeah, 10%.
Oh, I'm probably there.
Yeah, 10%.
I'm probably there.
I knew a lady that lived on the res and like was part of the casinos and shit, you know. And one time I went to hang out with her because my cousin met her son in prison, right? And then she liked my cousin, and so like we were hanging out with her at the casino, bro. And I would just go up and she would just hand us 20s. Hand us 20s. She got a free rice cooker. It was like, oh, you want a rice cooker? I was like, fuck yeah, I want a rice cooker.
Hell yeah, rice cookers.
I didn't even know you cooked rice in cookers. I just been using a pot and a fucking Joe Coy, my little finger, you know?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, rice cookers are where it's at.
Oh, it's the shit.
Yeah.
Bro, she took us to the buffet after, you know what I'm saying, was buying us drinks all day. This lady probably spent $2,000. The best part about it, she was like, yeah, my daughter does heroin. And I was like, oh yeah? And she's like, yeah, I don't know what to do, because like, I don't know if I should keep giving her money or not giving her money. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a problem, you know?
Yeah, dog,
Like,
you got some.
what do you do in that
You got
situation?
some issues.
You know?
You and say I don't do heroin.
Yeah, well, like she said that, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I see why you keep giving her money, but also maybe don't give her money for a little bit, you know, like take her to rehab, do something, you know, like fuck.
Yeah, that's a tough spot.
That's a tough spot.
I probably would have to start with therapy, right? Like go talk with a therapist.
Rehab. You got to go to rehab before therapy, you know.
I mean, at least I don't know. I don't know the steps. I ain't been
Me
involved.
neither, but I think that's the first one. You know, yeah, we got to get you clean first, babe.
Yeah, dog. Heroin's a hard drug. I ain't never done no heroin.
I think heroin's the hardest of drugs.
I mean, people be choosing it over life.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
rough. I don't need that.
Bro, people literally like I have a joke about this, bro. Like part of it is like they see a dumpster and they're like, "Oh, this is a nice place to sleep." You know, like that's like the life of a heroin addict. I'm like, bro, how good is this drug where you're willing to sleep next to dumpsters? You know,
Man,
like holy shit,
gotta be pretty fucking fantastic.
gotta be the best, bro. And
Gotta
like
be the
meth,
best.
crack, heroin, I'll try, I'll experiment. I'm a big experiment, try everything once type of guy.
I'll try anything
except
twice.
for meth, crack, and heroin. Try everything twice. That's a Louis thing. God bless. Never meth, crack, or heroin though, because those are like the drugs I feel like you don't come back from.
That's a who thing?
Louis C.K.
Who?
The reason he said Louis C.K. said the reason he'll never suck a dick is because he tries everything twice.
That's great.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
Louis
dope.
C.K. is the best.
I feel like that's like the third time in the last 24 hours when I've said something and people were like, "Oh, it's from a reference from somewhere," and I'm like, "What now? Where?"
Yeah. Like you say, you don't like to stay misinformed. You like to stay uninformed. You know?
Yeah.
I like that line, by the way.
That is Mark Twain. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a Louis C.K.
Except
anything.
he's quoting Mark Twain and I'm quoting comedians. Who's the stupid one?
Shit.
I mean, both. I feel like pretty good though.
I'm
know?
I'm pretty verifiably
You
stupid.
know, I just kind of say shit.
I've made some measurably dumbass decisions in my life.
Yeah.
Like,
What's the worst you think?
oh man, selling drugs in college, being an idiot.
Yeah, I don't. Did you get caught?
The SWAT team kicked my door.
Oh shit! How much time you do?
Oh, I got out in no time, basically.
Yeah.
I was a member of NORML, the National Organization for the Reformation of Marijuana Laws, NORML. They hooked me up with a really good lawyer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It was just weed?
Yeah, they found a hydrocodone. They said they found it in my sock.
Yeah. College.
And I told them, no, I don't like hydrocodone. I've never taken hydro. I mean, I've taken it. It made me throw up. So I don't even.
Me too. It makes me sick.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't fuck around
Thank
with
God.
it. And I flat out told them, y'all planted that.
Yeah.
I think it had nothing to do with me.
Yeah, fuck a hydrocodone. That's what you're trying to get me for. Remember back in the day when they would sprinkle crack? That was much better, you know? At least I didn't feel like a pussy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, bro, you're going to try and get me for
one hydrocodone.
Yeah, you're going to try and get me for felony possession of a controlled substance for a pill I found in my sock? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they arrested me on several felonies, but I wound up getting it all down to like just one misdemeanor and doing some
good shit.
Doing some probation
service and stuff.
I literally smoked weed the entire time on probation.
Yeah. One time I got caught stealing from Walmart.
Nice.
I was stealing some shoes, right? And the guy like followed me out, grabbed me by the backpack. I got out of the backpack, started running, hid in a bush, right? Sat there for like 20 minutes, and I was like, I'm not a thief, you know? And I went back to Walmart and returned the shoes. And I went up to the manager and I said, hey, man, I just stole these shoes. I realized I'm not a thief. I'm going to return these. And the guy was like, what? He's like, what? He's like, this has never happened to me before. Oh, my God, right? So I go into the little lockup room, and I'm talking to the 3 security guys. They're like, yeah, you had a backpack on. We could tell you were suspicious. We were watching the whole time. I was like, yeah. And they were like, so here's the deal. The cops really don't like us, so we can't really tell them not to come. And I was like, yes, you can. Just call him and tell him the guy's not a thief. He returned the shoes. What the fuck do you mean? You know, I was like, if anything, I just put them on, tested them out to see if they would if they would work well. You know?
Yeah.
They're Walmart shoes. They're Shaq 2s. I don't fucking know.
I just put them through the good test.
So I was like, yeah, bro. I just wanted to test it out. You know? Went to jail for that.
oh my god.
Cops picked me up for shoplifting. Went to jail for shoplifting.
Oh my god.
For a $35 pair of shoes that I returned. Went to jail for that shit, bro. Can you believe that? Even I was asking the cops, I was like, come on, bro. You got nothing else better to do? I returned the shoes. This isn't okay?
I feel like theft under $50 is a ticketable offense. I feel like they could have absolutely just ticketed you.
I feel like you could have just been like, it was in California. I feel like you could have just been like, hey.
In California, you can like steal up to like $5,000 in that game.
Not from Walmart.
Man, Walmart's some gangsters, bro.
Fuck, dude. Oh, man, dude.
How old were you?
19.
Oh, he was young and stupid.
Yeah, bro. I didn't have a job at the time, and I just wanted shoes to play basketball because my shoes had holes in them.
My word.
You know, and I was like, hey, Mom, can I get $20 for shoes? And she just scoffed. Yeah, right. I was like, fuck.
Fuck it, I'm stealing them.
I was like, I'm going to go get some shoes today, dude.
I'm tired of these holy-ass motherfuckers.
Dude, man. That's like when you go to jail and shit, like when the SWAT came in on you, did you wake up and were like, today feels weird?
The next day?
No, the day of.
Nah, it was a normal day. Yeah, it was chill.
I woke up and had a feeling. I was like, something bad's gonna happen today, but it was under my own choice. But you know, I was still like,
that's because you woke up with trouble on your mind. You was making the decision to go steal shoes, motherfucker. You had a whole vibe in the morning.
It wasn't like right when I woke up, you know, but like when I woke up,
it was there. It was lurking, bro.
Yeah, it was like in my subconscious.
Yeah. So I really do think that we can see the future. I think that we can so when I tell you to think about what happened yesterday, right, and you see it in your mind's eye, I believe that's your consciousness that isn't necessarily tethered to here and now, going to there and then, literally to that place physically in the space and time that it existed. And that's how you're able to see it in your mind's eye, right? And it's easy to see what happened yesterday because the path to it is clearly forged, right? There's a series of events, there's a trail.
You know, it's bad. I can't even remember what happened yesterday.
Sure, right. Neither can I. But most people,
I started thinking about it, and I was like, what did happen yesterday?
Most people aren't sub-95 space cadets. Most people can remember what happened
I love that
in the last 24 hours. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to put that on a T-shirt.
That's a good one.
But the point is that most people can. And there's literally a path. And so the further off you get, the less clear the path within the fifth dimension that your consciousness is taking is. And so whenever I tell you to think about tomorrow, right, like you're going to wake up in your bed tomorrow, right? You can imagine what it's going to be like when you wake up, right? You can go to that place in time. You're literally seeing the future. You're going to that place in the future tomorrow and seeing it in your mind's eye. And so
because the only time you don't wake up is if you die.
Sure. Well, but the point is that you're moving within the fifth dimension to places that actually physically exist right here, right now. And and you can go to places like a goal you have, right? Like think of a thing that you really want, for yourself, right? And you see that in your mind's eye. Bro, the place in time where you saw that happening exists right here, right now. It's how you're able to see it. And every time that you look at that, it's like you're walking a trail through the forest. And every time you walk it, you create a clearer and clearer path. And eventually it's just the path of least resistance. And that's the path you wind up falling into organically, right? And I do literally believe that by looking at things and protecting those reality tunnels that you're creating by exploring the fifth dimension, you can really have a grand influence over where you wind up.
Like manifesting.
Exactly. They talk about the secret and the law of attraction. This is what they're talking about. I just think that they've got the wrong.
Hey, Mikey, will you look this up on Google? Make sure this is all right.
Yeah. Google's gonna tell you for sure. They got us on this.
No, I do think you're onto something though, because like as you're saying this, I've realized I do that. As you're telling me, I'm like, oh, I do that shit all the time.
Well, the thing about truth is that it's self-evident, right? Like it feels right. You know what I'm saying? And, and I think that the truth is something that we as people can't really get to. I don't think that there's any getting to with monkey words. I think that we can just kind of do our best to orient people at a concept that exists, right? And hope that you're looking at it the same way I'm looking at it, right? Yeah.
That's deep, though.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something with that.
Yeah. I've done a lot of drugs. I saw it. So you asked earlier about my biggest psychedelic experience.
Wait, let me ask you a question first. Do you believe in God?
I think that so in quite the same way as we can't get to the truth with our monkey words, there's something truthful there, but the word God doesn't quite do the trick. I think that God is like a really useful concept through which you can look through it and observe reality and get a closer look at what's really going on. But I think that's about it. And I think that all the different iterations of God that have existed in everybody's mind are equally valid. And I think that really there's a galactic consciousness. Like I think that at the end of the day, this whole thing is aware of itself, and ultimately we are just apertures through which the universe looks through and observes itself. And that's at the end of the day all we really are. We're all one big thing. It's like a Rorschach blot. Are you familiar with a Rorschach blot?
No, I know Rorschach, but I don't know the blot. What's that? Block.
Blot. B-L-O-T.
Blot.
Where they throw.
They
ink.
say, what do you see?
Yeah. So at the center of it, it's very dense. That ink is very dense, right? And then at the edge, there's intricate little patterns, right? But the dots aren't necessarily connected to the big blot anymore, right? But it's still part of the blot. And that's what we are. We're the fine little dots out on the edge of the Rorschach blot. But just because we aren't literally so physically connected that we can feel it or see it doesn't mean that we aren't part of it. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, that's what I think about God. I think that there's a galactic consciousness, and it's the sum total of all experience everywhere, and we are all it.
Yeah. One time I did some mushrooms, and I talked to a plant,
Nice.
for like 20 minutes.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, you're alive.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided, oh, shit, God's real.
Yeah.
I was like, I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh, the earth is alive. You know? I was like, oh, that's fucking just crazy to think about in itself. I think that one of God's great creations is us and the human brain. I think he tried to put it in dinosaurs first. It was like, they're too big, they just eat each other. This isn't working, meteor, restart. Seen some monkeys fucking in the corner, and was like, oh, yeah, it'll fit in those things. You know?
You guys.
Boom.
Let's roll with these punches.
And he's like, "That boom, humans, let's go."
Yeah, because I mean, what's a few 100 million years to the galactic consciousness?
Exactly.
Nothing.
It's nothing. It's just him experimenting, seeing what's working, having fun with it, you know? And then he made us. He's like, all right, pretty proud of these. We'll keep these around for a little bit.
As long as they can keep themselves afloat.
Exactly. And then
You know?
World War III starts, and he's like, God damn it.
Man, you guys were neat.
Let's find something smaller.
Man, you guys were neat. Damn it,
Yeah,
man.
you guys were neat.
Y'all were fun to look
You're
through.
interesting. All
Y'all
this
were
stuff
having
was
y'all were
happening.
having orgies and doing DMT.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn.
Yeah, dude.
Y'all
yeah.
were finding some ways to be ecstatic. Let me tell you, it was a good time while it lasted.
Yeah, you guys figured out sports and TV. Look how clever you are. I like you guys.
Bro, y'all wrote the Kama Sutra. There's a whole book about how to fuck.
Yeah,
and
y'all
have
got
orgasms.
creative with fucking.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, I always say that I've had people dispute this. God damn. I like to point to the fact that pissing and shitting feels good is intelligent design. The fact that getting rid of our waste product literally feels good
Yeah.
is
Not all the time.
not all the time, but like generally speaking, as long as everything's.
I ate McDonald's twice yesterday, and let me tell you something.
Oh my god!
Okay?
Oh my
let me tell you
God.
something. All right.
So if you're eating right and excising and doing everything
Yeah,
normal
yeah,
and you're
yeah,
passing normal pisses and shits, it's usually pretty fucking
it's
pleasant.
enjoyable. Yeah. Those hydrated peas, where you make sounds. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's on purpose. That's
Yeah.
not by
I
fucking.
agree.
That's not by accident. I
agree.
refuse
Same
to
reason
believe
that
that.
sex feels good too, you know? Because
Oh,
like
yeah.
if it feels good, you're gonna want to do this more, have more kids. You know,
Yeah.
we need these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if sex didn't feel good; it would just be like a workout.
Oh, we would have already.
know?
We would have already been making them in test tubes and shit.
Yeah,
we would have
facts.
already.
Yeah,
we would have
you're right.
already.
There's no point in
Yeah,
doing
we would have
this,
already.
yeah.
We would have already turned them into like perfect little genetic beings.
Yeah,
we'd
just
all
coming
look
out 6'7",
we-
250.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'd all look the exact
just
same,
all
bro.
Captain Americas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why would we need any of the
human imperfection? No,
Yeah,
we don't need that.
No need for that. Oh. But that ratchet over there can make you feel super good with that fucking slop pussy. Okay. She wakes up and drags her pussy across Chinese silvergrass. Okay, she's ripe. Let's roll. So there's different types of experiences you can have sexually, and so it just leads to fun mixes, man.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world.
Right? It's wonderful. Yeah, that's because it's on purpose. They did that
On purpose, yeah.
They did that on purpose. Shout out whoever was controlling the mechanisms that made that happen. You're fucking rocking it. I like to literally fourth wall break to God all the time. Like just then, I was looking up and shouting out somebody. Like I made eye contact with that motherfucker out in the fifth dimension. It's like, fuck you. I know you're watching right there.
Yeah, I like to just like talk to him sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Like when I'm alone.
Subscribing to the Josh subreddit or YouTube channel.
Yes.
Galactic Consciousness just subscribe to you.
But,
Yes.
Yeah, I like to I guess it'd be praying, but it's just like when I'm by myself, you know. And I also have I've had people like pass away in my life, so when I feel figures and stuff, you know, I like to think that it's them.
Yeah.
You know, I think God sits in the penthouse. I don't think he ever comes down. It's like, hey, how you doing? And if he did and he touched you, then something bad might happen. But I think it's like I'll get like a lot of past people, you know. Like I'll feel like this person, like my grandma's sitting here, you know. But I'll never think it's like God.
I'll tell you. So again, relating back to the big psychedelic experience that you were wanting to hear about, I believe that for a second I heard the voice of God, and that's what separated everything in my psychedelic experience. Have you ever done LSD?
Yeah.
So it kind of comes on in waves, right?
Yeah.
Well, I took 10 hits.
Holy.
I took 5, and then an hour later took 5 more.
Oh my God.
And then went and meditated in lotus pose in silent darkness in my bedroom. And got so far out that I couldn't find my body, and convinced I was 500 pounds at the time, and convinced myself that I had had a heart attack and died in my bedroom, and went through the fullest ego death experience you can have, I believe. And you know, it was so far out that I couldn't find my body, and I was just out in just an incredible tapestry of psychedelic patterns. And I heard this. It just kept getting higher and higher pitched, and
It's just you farting.
yeah. But the point is that it got higher pitched than what my ears have the capacity for receiving, right? Like my eardrum could never rattle at the right wavelength to make this noise happen in my brain. It was an audio hallucination, and it literally created noises that I'd never heard before because it was so high pitched. It kept getting more and more high pitched, and I kept thinking that there's no way that it can keep getting more high pitched. Like I can't imagine what it's going to sound like if it gets even an instant more higher pitched than this, and it kept getting more and more high pitched. And have you seen the videos where they put salt on the plates and they hit them with harmonic frequencies and the salt makes these patterns? No?
But I can like
Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie.
Don't do it on the computer. I don't want to do it on your phone. But the point is that I was having the psychedelic experience, and this frequency came in, and it got, I think it was the voice of God, and it got so high pitched that it created this, like the entire psychedelic experience turned into this like weaved pattern, and I could see into the void through it, and I passed through this pattern, dude, into just the pure void, and it was just pure blackness, and in the sides of my eyes I could see this like river of light, and I would look and it would leave like symbols, bro, in its wake. And we're talking the most important symbols ever, right? Like from civilizations millions of years in the future and millions of years in the past, but like the most important symbols you could ever imagine. And as it did this, I could never see it. It was always in my periphery, but as it did this, it left symbols on the void. Like in the void had a form, and the form were faces of gods, bro. And like out of the void emerged all the faces of all the gods that have ever existed in every civilization ever. Like God, Krishna, fucking whoever, guys on planets from fucking a million years from now.
Yeah.
It did this to my psychedelic experience.
Which reminds me of listening to the Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It did that. It did that to me. So I had just this big tapestry of psychedelic patterns, and it turned into dense patterns, right? That had hollow pieces to it, and I was able to look through that hollow piece, and it's like I had my heart weighed against a feather of truth in the Hall of Anubis, bro. It's like all the gods that have ever existed had their microscope fully on me, bro. Literally felt like they were all looking directly at me through their own individual microscope. And I was literally like on a petri dish just there for them to like really dissect. And bro, it took me through every moment of my life I've ever been through. Shit that I'd forgotten about, shit that I'd never wanted to remember, traumas, all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
And it kept getting to these moments where it wanted to know what the fuck I was thinking. And every time I tried to remember earlier I talked about how these places exist. I was trying to put my consciousness in those moments so that I could remember. And every time that I got there and was trying to honestly recollect it, it was there already waiting for me. The galactic consciousness was. And it would almost kind of laugh at me going, hey, like we know what you were thinking. We shared the experience with you. We were just basically effectively trying to make sure that you were going to keep it real with yourself and us about what you were doing, right? And so that effectively was passing the test. I had my heart weighed against a feather of truth in the Hall of Anubis, and I was truthful. And at that point, it basically told me that I was good to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you keep keep playing the game the way you're playing the game, and you're going to be just fine. And in that moment, it struck me, okay, I keep playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not dead. I was having a wild-ass psychedelic experience, and that kind of grounded me a little bit. And then it struck me that I was being communicated with by that flowing river of light that had existed in my periphery, right? Like the sum total of all wisdom in the everything, in all the universes combined, all of it's aware of itself. It's like a big solid state drive, and it was completely aware of itself and me. And the first thing that I thought to ask it was, what's the meaning of, or what's the purpose of life? And it told me, it's a 4-letter word, and I'll give you one opportunity to guess it.
I mean, clichely, I want to say love.
That's the point. That's the fucking point.
That's it?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the fucking purpose of life, bro.
I was hoping you were going to be, no, it's dead, bitch.
No, the point of this whole thing is love, bro. It's literally a big, this whole thing is a big, gigantic act of loving compassion. Bottom line.
Oh.
And, you know, we talked, if the universe is infinite, right, and if it's splitting off into infinite variations of itself.
I gotta go call my ex-girlfriend real quick. I'll be right back. I'm just playing.
Say, damn it, man. This fool is super whipped for some ex girlfriend.
No, that is crazy to experience that though.
Yeah, and,
that's wild.
Yeah, and so it told me that the purpose of life was love, and one of the big things that it iterated to me is that every time the universe splits off into, you know, like a variated form of itself, it's every time a sentient being makes a decision. Every time you make any, the moment that I decided to go like that, the moment I decided to say this, any type of measurable thing that any sentient being does with intention is when the universe splits and makes a copy of itself, because there's a version where you did and a version where you didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at every single one of those forks in the road, the basic crux of the matter is if you're going to operate out of the principle of love or if you're going to operate out of the principle of fear. And if you operate out of the principle of love, if at every fork in the road you consciously decide to act out of the principle of love and let love be the guiding principle that takes you through the flowing experience, whenever you get done with this whole playthrough, you're going to have gotten hurt. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be heartache. You know, shit's going to happen. But you're going to have lived a beautiful life. And you're going to be really content with it. You know what I'm saying? And that was the big message for me. It showed me an interview of a little old black lady in New York who said that she had sat next to God on the subway. And he told her the meaning of life. And it was so simple she'd forgotten it. And in that moment, I knew that truth that I had just been shown was the truth that she'd been shown, and that I was at risk of forgetting it. And that gave me the spark to fucking claw my way back through 100 lifetimes of psychedelic experience back to my fucking bedroom, to literally crawl out to the living room to speak this truth into existence to my cousin. My cousin was also tripping on the same amount of tabs. And I shook him. He looked at me. I said, bro, the meaning of life is love. He looked right at me and went, duh. And closed his eyes and went right back to tripping. And I just flopped on the floor, knowing that I had done my job. And just tripped on the floor the rest of the evening.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 tabs, bro. That'll take you to a fucking place, bro.
Yeah, it'll deliver itself to you on a silver platter.
Yeah, I did 3, and I thought one of my roommates was a demon.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah,
that can happen.
I went to go take a shower, came out butt-ass naked, trying to hug him, saying sorry for whatever happened in a past life. We need to get past this, though. Why do you hate me? That's probably the craziest acid trip I've ever had. Coming out of the bathroom butt-ass naked, trying to hug people and shit. It was a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a problem. Yeah.
You need better buddies around, man.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Yeah. That's like always the issue. Every time people have bad trips, because fucking people are around not tripping.
Well, it's because
they're around people who have bad energy.
He'd ask me. He'd be like, so how are you feeling? I'd be like, good. I'd be like, how are you feeling? And he would do this, like this exact look and everything. He goes, this is what I do.
Oh, that's impolite.
And it would fuck with me, bro. I'd be like, what? Like, are you a demon trying to take my mind over? Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Are you part of MK Ultra, motherfucker?
Exactly, bro. I was like, this is too much, dude. And I just started going sideways.
Yeah, bro, you can't listen. If you're out there, and I'm at this point speaking to the world, right? If you're out there tripping with your buddies, don't be cryptic.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah, it's like people are so impressionable when they're high on psychedelics. You can't fuck with people when they're high.
Yeah.
As much as, because you know they're going to be vulnerable, and it might be like totally the monkey brain thing to want to do to fuck with them, right? Don't do it.
But the thing is like this guy was maybe 5'1", very small, skinny dude. I'm not like the person that you might want to be mind fucking, you know? I'm 6'2", 260 pounds. You know what I'm saying? If you're over here mind fucking me, what happens if something goes sideways and I just punch you in the face?
Yeah, bro, you definitely don't want to fuck with a 6'2"
monkey
who's high on
silverback gorilla.
Yeah,
you know?
who's high on LSD, bro. It's the wrong one.
Especially,
I mean, frankly,
I'm a positive affirmations type of guy. I like people that are nice and and be polite and stuff. You know, I don't like that mean, disrespectful shit. And it felt like we were just going the wrong direction during the trip. You know.
Yeah.
And I started just going sideways, and I was like, I can't trust this person. And, you know.
So what wound up happening with that relationship after the fact?
Oh no! Well, he lived with me, and then when I just moved out and dipped.
Oh, you did?
And once that lease was up, yeah, I was like, I'm getting out of here.
How much longer did you have to live with that guy?
4 months.
Yeah. So I mean, so it permanently changed the way you felt about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably saw what you needed to see in real life.
Exactly. And then I was like, yeah, I think psychedelics stuff are very, very beneficial.
Yeah.
I think not only it helps you with your interpersonal demons and the trauma and shit and working it out, you know, but also like it lets you cut through the gray, the filter of life, and see for shit for how it really is, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, if you've been looking at this phone your whole life and you've never been able to change your perspective on it, you would just think this is a two-dimensional rectangle that floats in space. All of a sudden you take LSD and you realize that it's got depth and all this other shit to it. And the same thing happens to just reality. There's so many extra layers of depth to what's happening around us that we don't even pay attention to. It's like it's like not seeing your own nose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's everywhere. That's happening all the time. And so it's really, really beneficial for giving you a fresh perspective on circumstances, right? And if you don't know exactly how to feel about something, right? You didn't know exactly how to feel about that square. When you took that LSD, now you realize it's a fucking rectangle. Now you know exactly how it's a fucking rectangle. And now you know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so all that happened is you just got to change the psychological window through which you were looking at that situation, and you found some pretty epic clarity, and were able to do with that information what you needed. And I don't like to necessarily invoke spooky knowledge in conversation with randoms, but you know, I don't mind invoking spooky knowledge like that whenever I'm making decisions for myself. You know what I'm saying? I know what's right for me. It's a feeling.
Yeah.
You felt it. You knew what was up.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you think the taking 3 tabs, that was probably your biggest trip ever? That was the most you ever took?
Yeah, of acid, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think the biggest, most beneficial psychedelic experience you ever had was?
Doing mushrooms and looking at myself in the mirror.
Yeah. How many mushrooms did you take?
Like an eighth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like tripping. You know?
How long into the trip do you think you were?
It was probably about an hour in. You know.
So we're talking an hour after you ate it, or an hour after the trip started?
Hour after I ate it.
Okay, so you were.
It's like I just started tripping.
It was just coming on. Yeah.
Just started tripping.
You went and looked in the mirror, huh?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I started crying, tears of joy.
That's beautiful.
And I was like, "Oh, you're good."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, you're good."
Yeah.
That's what I remember saying to myself. You're good. And I was tripping with all my cousins. It's funny you said that too. Like cousins, man, they're the people who they're your automatic friends growing up.
Yeah.
They're like the people you can trust. Their family, their blood.
Absolutely.
I was tripping with my cousins. I just went in there, gave them all a hug, said I fucking love you guys, you know. And then we went on a journey through the fucking hills or the desert or whatever you want to call it.
Where were y'all at?
We were in like Southern California. It's called a place called Bonsall.
Okay.
It's like way outskirts, like in the middle of San Diego and LA.
So it's like hilly.
Yeah, it's like pretty hilly, and where I lived, it was like kind of deserty too, you know, and there was like open land, so you could like roam back there and go hang out and stuff, you know.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a good time. That's the time like I talked to the gopher for like 20 minutes, and I was like, oh shit, I walked on your home, I'm sorry, you know.
Fuck yeah.
Like all day you're just building this fucking home, and I just walked on top of it like a piece of shit.
I'm so fucking humongous, I'm sorry.
Exactly, bro. It's like, I don't even look at you, but now I see you right now, and I'm sorry, you know.
Whoops.
Yeah, you're terrified of me.
Whoops.
Yeah, exactly. I felt bad, bro.
My bad, little homie.
Yeah, man, that was probably the best thing, though, just looking at myself and, because, I'm poor, you know? It's the fucking worst thing to be fucking poor, especially in America. It's like, you don't want to be poor. But I remember looking at myself and being like, oh, you're poor, but you're a good person.
Yeah.
Like, you're nice to strangers, you take care of your own, you know? Like, oh, you're a solid fucking dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, stop worrying about the money. Hope you'll make it happen. Everything always works out. You always work everything out. You're good. And I remember started crying, and I was like, you're fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
I remember one of the big things for me was just like being able to change my orientation about what making it meant. You know what I'm saying?
Making it to you?
Being happy.
Yeah.
That's all that matters to me now. I could literally get hit by a semi on the way home tonight.
Well, let's not hope that, but let's not burn that trail.
I don't hope. I don't hope for that at all. But the bottom line is that it is a factual statement. So I would rather spend my evening coming out here and podcasting with an interesting person and enjoying myself to the fullest of my ability than going out and doing Grubhub or building up some crazy business. You know, like it's. There are ways, you know, I could go and be chasing down money right now if I really, really wanted to, but instead I'm doing this where I'm just having fun and enjoying myself, and because that's what's most important to me, man. Like at the end of the day, all that money that I would make doing whatever, I just immediately spend it. It would just get gobbled up by the system doing whatever, you know, and I would just wind up not enjoying myself. I'd wind up having more time spent working. I'd wind up I'd be just as poor at the end of the day, and I'd wind up just feeling like I'm beating my head against the wall, you know? And so I choose not to live that way. You know, I focus on what's happening right here, right now, and enjoying myself as much as I possibly can in that moment. And I really do wish that people could experience the levels of ecstasy that I experience on the day by day.
Why do you think that is, though? Like living in the moment?
I mean, bro, if you're right here, right now, you can see the face of God in the lead of a pencil. Period. Like the fingerprint of God is on everything, man, and it's beautiful. The whole world is a big piece of art, my dude. Like I said, it's a big piece of compassionate love that's absolutely stunningly beautiful to look at in every direction. If you just take the time to take a breath and look. But everybody's so caught up chasing down money and passing what's happening right here, right now, through the filter of capital gain, through the filter of everybody's trying to actualize themselves. Everybody's trying to become the best version of themselves that they can, right? And so even if you're not passing what you're experiencing right now through the filter of trying to get money, you're at least passing it through the filter of trying to get where you're trying to go. Everybody has goals and shit, and everybody's passing what they're going through that filter.
You ever have those days, though?
I don't do that.
Where you just accept that you're a piece of shit?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, we're all rascals.
Yeah. I'll have days where I'm just going to bust 4 nuts and play fucking Xbox and order pizza and be my worst self.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like it almost betters you to have shitty days like that sometimes.
Buddy, I'm going to tell you right now, we're all rascals. And anybody who isn't in tune with their own inherent rascality is dangerous.
Rascality. Is that a word? Mikey, look that up. Is that a word? That's a good fucking word if that's a word.
If it isn't, I'm glad I just made it up.
You just made that up. Yeah, rascality. I like that, dude.
Because, those people will pop. You know what I'm saying? People who don't allow themselves that release, right? People who don't allow themselves to just be a human, to be a filthy, nasty ape on this fucking
nasty,
rock.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No shirt wearing, looking, titties out, sauce on your tummy, rascality.
Mischief or destructive behavior.
That's a good fucking word, dude. Josh, that's a great goddamn word. I can't believe you just pulled that out of nowhere. That's a crazy word, bro.
I think it's probably something that relates to something that Carl Jung said. I think that's a word that I learned from reading Carl Jung.
Yeah.
You familiar with Carl Jung?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a
The
word.
guy who they made the movie Blow About?
No.
I'm just playing.
No.
I'm just playing. The philosopher?
Yeah, the guy
Yeah.
he wrote stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I read some stuff that he wrote.
One time my buddy quoted him, and I said that seriously. I said, "Oh, that movie Blow? The guy from the movie Blow, Carl Jung, I love that guy, bro." And the guy was like, "No, not him." I was like, "Oh, all right, fucking my IQ's 95, whatever."
Sub 95.
Sub 95.
Sub 95 gang.
Sub 95 Cloud Boys or whatever you call it.
94 3/4.
Yeah,
But
dude.
I feel like that's a perfectly fine place to end the podcast, man. That's a good laugh. Dude, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you guys, man. This was fun.
Let's go ahead and have you shout yourself out to the camera one more time, where they can find you. You know,
Hey, I'm Brian MacDuffy. That look good? No, okay. Follow me on Instagram.
That's a face to follow.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Brian with an I. EYE. Once again, I think that's clever. Come on now. Someone give me something there. Yeah, okay. Follow me on Instagram also at Slide In Pod. It's a new Instagram. It's a new podcast I started where we're sliding into people's Instagrams, telling crazy stories. Send me your phone number, whatever. I'm single. And yeah, man, come to a comedy show. Have fun. I do a comedy show every Wednesday in Round Rock at Rocky's Piano Bar. They're cool. So yeah.
No, fuck yeah, man. That was a perfect shout out, man. I again really appreciate you for coming through.
No, thank you, Josh.
I'm really looking forward to doing it again. How'd you feel about the studio, man?
Fucking great. Love it in here, man. Feels very podcasty, which is a good thing, and it makes you, it like gives you like a welcome, cool, fun vibe. You know what I'm saying? It'd be cool if you turn that pineapple painting upside down, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I lived in Austin for a long time. Yeah, keep it weird, dog.
You know, people used to do that, really, though, at the grocery store. They'd walk around the grocery store with an upside-down pineapple. You'd have to be at the grocery store going, what's up? Really? Oh, yeah, I'm trying to find someone.
Oh, bro. How long you been in Austin?
It's weird, because I grew up in Pflugerville, right? Like, I moved to Pflugerville when I was 12, and then I moved back to California when I was 20, and then back here at 28. So I, was here for 8 years the first time. Now I'm back here again for 2.
Okay. Probably introduce you to some people.
Yeah, I'm a bartender right now. So, yeah. I feel like the opportunity will show itself sooner or later.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, I told this gay dude, I said, I'll let you suck my dick if you get a girlfriend. I can fuck her first. You know? You know?
What a gangster. All right,
Rascallion.
That's a perfect way to end the podcast, guys. Everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Love y'all all bunches. We'll catch you next time.
Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.